Because some of you, before you came here, you were scammers over there. Some of you were scamming your friends. Some of you were scamming the government. Some of you were scamming your jobs. Some of you were scammers over there before you came here. Hey guys, welcome back. All right, so today's video is going to be all about how to get ripped off in Ghana, because obviously you want to get ripped off in Ghana, right? Okay, so I've made a little list and we're going to go down the list and I'm going to explain how Ghana works and how not to get ripped off. Okay, so the first one is when you don't ask for the price before buying something. Okay, so often what you'll find is when you come to shops in Ghana, a lot of the places don't have their items labeled with the price unless you go into one of these big supermarkets. Like most provision stores don't have a price. And so therefore, if you go there and you're buying items, you could buy like, say 5-10 items. I'll just calculate and give you the number and that's what you pay. But actually you haven't looked at how much each individual item costs. And therefore, when they give you a grand total, you have no idea what you're paying for things. And every time you go back to that store, you're going to be probably paying a different price. They're just going to see what they can get away with. Now, please hear me, okay? I'm not trying to say everywhere is like that. Every local person in Ghana is a scammer. That is not what I'm saying. I'm just saying the culture of Ghana, it's like, the price is not necessarily one price for everybody, okay? So there are things that are going to affect the way you look. If you look like you have the money, they're going to put a few more cedis on top of it. That's just how it works. It's not even anything personal. It is how it works. So sometimes what you'll find is that when it comes to buying things, people prefer to send either their house help or somebody else, a friend that maybe can speak the language or whatever, to go and buy certain things because it is easier. You're able to take those stereotypes away where people think that because you've come up from abroad that you can absolutely afford everything, no matter what price. You can say $5 million and hey, here's $5 million, you know. So sometimes it's better to ask the price, and it's even in your benefit to know the price of things so that you know that you're paying around about the right mark, right? So if I go to a local provision shop and I buy a bag of sugar, I should know that, okay, this is roughly what it costs. Like say it's 20 cedis or whatever for a bag of sugar. I should know that when I go to any of the shops in the area, it's going to be round about 20 cedis. I'm not expecting to pay 50 cedis for the same bag of sugar at another store. So if you don't find out the price, you're going to get ripped off. Fact. Another way to get ripped off is to come with your accent, your strong, fresh accent from abroad. That lovely American accent, that British accent, come with it. Use it to your advantage when you go there. Use the Queen's English and speak it for them. Hi, could I have this? Like use that accent. And they will give you the price according to your accent. That's just what's going to happen, okay? They will charge you for things according to your accent. And I know when you've come, you don't necessarily have a Ghanaian accent, but you have to at least tone it down. You have to slow down the way you speak. You have to just make some adjustments in your accent. Don't come and give them what you have because, first of all, they probably don't know what you're saying. They can't understand you. And it just doesn't look good. It just doesn't look good here. Like you have to try to fit in, even if your accent is your Ghanaian accent that you try to put on is terrible. It's better to do that than to come fresh and use that strong accent because that accent equals money. It equals dollars. It equals pounds. It equals euros, whatever it is. That's what that accent equals. So the sooner you learn to switch up, the easier it is. And yeah, you may not even want to do that, but I'm just telling you the fact of what it is. If you don't want to get ripped off, try to bring a little bit of the accent. So at least like, it sounds like you've been here for a while and so therefore you're less likely to get ripped off. But if you want to get ripped off, hey, use your accent, no problem. The next one is to use taxis without negotiating a fare first. I have seen so many people come here and do that. Okay, so if you're unclear of the price of things, right, just use an Uber. Use Uber or Bolt. It's just easier because the price is there. You know exactly what it is before the car arrives, and that is it. There's no negotiation involved. Ghana is a country where everything is open to negotiation. So if you pick up a taxi, one of these local taxis, and you have not negotiated the fare first, when you get to your destination, that taxi driver can pretty much call any number that he wants. And that's what he's going to do. He or she is going to do. And so I've heard stories where people have been like, they wanted to just jump in a taxi because the taxi is convenient, right? It's right where they are. The taxi's there, you know. So I remember speaking to someone, I can't remember who it was, and they were saying that they could literally see where they wanted to go, and they just like had some bags and stuff. So it was like, the taxi's there, like, okay, let me just jump in the taxi and go there. And the guy called some ridiculous price. And they were like, no, maybe you don't understand where I mean. Like, just here, like, I can see it from here. And the price that the guy was quoting was just so unrealistic. Like, there is nobody that's going to pay like 50 cedis for like 20 meters down the road. It's ridiculous. But you're going to get that if you haven't negotiated. And if you think, well, he's going to take what I'm going to give him, what's going to happen is that when you get to your destination and the taxi driver calls his price and you say you're not paying, it becomes a thing for the locals. So it will cause an argument where the driver will start shouting and saying, oh, you're not paying me, and then you're going to get a mob of people come out and try to understand what's going on. Some may be on your side, some won't be on your sides. You know, it just causes unnecessary friction that you don't need, that nobody needs. It's just an unnecessary situation. So it's better to know the price that you're going to pay before you get into that, before you even get it. Don't even sit in the car yet. Before you get in there, negotiate the price so you're both clear of what it is. And you must negotiate. Please don't just take a price without negotiating. If the driver says it's 45 cedis to get here, boss, I'll give you 30 or 25 or something like that, and kind of get a feel for where you should lay the price. Because I'm telling you, if he's going to lose, he ain't going to take you. If it's fair, then, you know, it works for both of you. I mean, you may be ripped off 5 cities. It's not going to be the end of the world, whatever. Do you know what I mean? So there has to just be some flexibility. You have to pay a price where you feel is comfortable enough for you that you're not being ripped off, and he has to feel comfortable that he's also not losing on his fare too. So negotiate. The next one is to let people handle financial situations for you. If you want to be ripped off, just let people handle the financial situations. You like, don't get involved. Just let them do it. Let them go buy stuff from the store for you. Let them deal with all the land purchases for you. Let them bring their people. I know a guy that can do this for you. Let them bring all their people into your vicinity and let that one person negotiate all the prices for you. I guarantee you somebody is making money from you. I can almost guarantee it. What happens here is that, you know, there's a thing called bakbakba, okay? And if you don't know what bakbakba is, it's where people make little bits of money from here, there, and everywhere. So what they'll do is they will help you. You'll probably get what you want, but they have also made an additional profit on top of whatever it is. So if I've agreed to buy, say, a poly tank, and I've said, okay, you've told me the price of the poly tank is 10,000 cedis. And okay, I pay you 10,000 cedis. That person may have put 2,000 cedis on. That tank was only 8,000. Now, hey, and I'm not saying don't pay someone for their service, but sometimes you can be paying them for their service and they've put a profit on top. So it's a good idea for you to actually know and get yourself involved in the process when it comes to some of these things. Now, I've used that as one example, but it literally applies to everything. It applies even to going to the market to get things. I know someone who actually had a house help, and the house help would do the shopping for that person's house, and then they would do shopping for their own house with the same money. So they would say, like, I need 1,500, something like that, ridiculous, to go to the market to buy all the things that you want for the week. And they will literally take out 500 cedis and use to buy their own things. So they put their stuff down first, and then they come and then they put your stuff down. And that was going on for some time until the person realized, like, they had a conversation with someone else and they were like, why are you spending so much money? Like, the market doesn't cost that much. What are you buying? And then they did a breakdown and they realized that the person was being ripped off because they were just allowing this person to go to the market and just buy things. So sometimes it's a good idea for you to go to the market yourself and get an idea of what prices cost. Just get a feel for things when you come here. Don't just take someone's word for what something is. Do that, because here, The business is to make a business of your business or whatever it is. So even if the person works for you, they are a full-time employee for you, they can still be doing bakbakba on the side. I've seen it 100,000,000 times. That is just what it is. And it's not even like when you catch them, this is a taboo thing necessarily. This is just like, this is what I'm doing. This is how I'm doing. And it's not, it's a bit of a gray issue because it's not necessarily all the way bad where someone is taking money for their service, but it is if you're also paying them for that service and they're also taking money on top. It kind of feels unfair. And I feel like if you have a long-standing relationship with someone, then it's nice when it's clear. So if you're happy to say, because there are some situations where someone will say, look, this is what I'm willing to pay for this. If you can get it lower, you can keep whatever the change is, whatever you can make on it. That's fine. I just want it for this price. And situations like that work because there is clarity between the two of you as to what is happening. If that's what the case is, then that's good. Go for that. But if not, clarity is also best. Another one is if you want to get ripped off, is to pay for a job before it's finished. Now this, you might think is just, this goes across the board, and it does go across the board in all countries. Why would you pay for a job, 100% for a job up front before the person has actually done the work? But I'm telling you, there are situations that you'll find yourself here in Ghana where you did not expect that this could ever happen to you. Smarter people have been ripped off than you, I'm telling you, when it comes to things like this. Because I've kind of explained this in a video before. It's almost like you hire someone to do a job, the materials cost more than the labor. And so the person will be like, okay, well, there's a thing called mobilization money. So before someone comes to do a job for you, sometimes they need mobilization money. So it means that you have to send them a certain amount of the money before they can get here. Like, it's basically transport money. They call it mobilization money here, right? And so what you'll find is that before you realize, the person has taken so much of their labor before they have even completed the job, or maybe even before they started that. It's almost like it's not even worth the person's effort to come and do the thing. So either they won't come and do the job and you've paid already, or they will stop the job halfway in order to go and do something else. It's just how it works itself out some here. And as frustrating as it is what it is. So I suggest when it comes to having workers or things like that, it's best that if you're going to get them to do a job, do a big job or do several small jobs all at once in order to make sure that you're having some leverage within that relationship rather than it being so one-sided, because they won't come back. The frustration that you'll have to go through to get them to finish the job, it's just, sometimes you just like, forget it. You just want to walk away because you just have enough. Like, I just don't want to do this. It's just not worth it. Like, you just walk away just for your own peace of mind. And the way to not let that happen is to make sure that you have enough leverage in the situation that they will complete the job before you pay. So many people have fallen prey to the fact of having paid so much money before the job is actually done and it doesn't get done, or they've just lost their money. It happens 100 times. And something that I want to say as well when it comes to having people come and do work for you is that if someone has started a job and things go bad halfway through the job and you try to get someone else to come and take over that job, a lot of the time, nobody wants to come and finish off that person's job. And it's not even a case of because I don't know what the person done and so I don't want to be blamed. That's why I don't want to take off this job. Take over this job. That is understandable. It's not that. The person won't want to take over because they will feel like it's in bad taste. They're almost going to be cursed for taking someone else's job. Something happened here at this job, and so therefore, I don't want to be involved. I don't want to be cursed. I don't want to be so no one will take over that job, and you'll be stuck. You better find YouTube and work out how you're going to finish this thing off yourself. So sometimes it's better to avoid conflict and just things that will complicate so that the person won't want to come back and finish off the job, because a lot of the time, people don't want to come back and They just don't want to finish off somebody else's job because it's in bad taste. They feel like they're taking food from somebody else's mouth. And sometimes you may even get to a point, because I know it's happened to me personally, where the person will not take over the job unless they speak to the person who started the job and they give the okay, that it's okay for that person to do the job. And so it's just so messy. Just avoid these things at all costs as much as you can, if possible. Another way to get ripped off here is when you come and you live this big lifestyle. This lifestyle, like, you don't even have to necessarily flash cash, but you just have to come across like you have money. And let's be honest, a lot of you don't have the money that you are pretending that you have. I'm sorry I said it. You don't have that. You've just come from a place where your money is stretching further, because let's be honest with you, over there, you were living in a council flats. The government was supplementing most of what you were doing before you came here. You were barely making ends meet. And that is even part of the reason you came to Ghana. You came to Ghana to make your money stretch further because you were sinking over there. I'm just telling it as it is. But you come here and you want to portray a lifestyle, like you want to be respected for the money that you apparently have. And so, you know, you walk with a particular swag. Everybody's calling you boss, this, that, and the other. But meanwhile, really, your bank balance doesn't say that you have that lifestyle. You are just barely making ends meet. Don't come with that vibe about you. Don't come with that, because once you are seen that way, you are seen to have it for them to take. And they will take. And if there's one thing I can tell you, whether you like it or you don't like it, I'm going to tell you. Some Ghanaians have time to wait for you. They won't just, by next week, they want to rip you off. They can wait 5 years for you to just let your guard down. Whether you like what I'm saying or I'm not, what you think I'm saying, you think that I'm pulling Ghanaians down. I'm not, I'm telling the truth. They will wait for you until the day that they can get you. Ghanaians have patience. They have been hustling for years. They are going to hustle you too. And I'm not saying every Ghanaian. Please hear my heart. Please listen to what I'm saying carefully. I'm not saying every Ghanaian. There are bad people in everywhere. There are bad people in America. There are bad people in the UK. There are bad people in Germany. There are bad people everywhere, okay? But I'm talking about Ghana because this is what we're talking about. We're talking about living in Ghana here. People here can wait for you. They will smile with you for years. They will be your friend for years. And then there will be this one fine day that they will show their true colors. And I'm sorry if that hurts you. But if I was to say, write in the comment section if this has ever happened to you, I'm sure you'll see a chain of comments where it has happened to people. And it's so sad to see, because some of it, I won't even always blame Ghanaians for that. Sometimes it is the situation that they find themselves in. And for a lot of the time, if you were to find yourself in that situation, you would do exactly the same thing, if not worse. Let's be honest with you, if not worse. Because some of you, before you came here, you were scammers over there. Some of you were scamming your friends. Some of you were scamming the government. Some of you were scamming your jobs. Some of you were scammers over there before you came here. You may have dropped your... you may have stopped when you came here because you don't feel the need to do it, but you were scamming over there because you're on the poverty line over there. Now, it's the same situation here. Sometimes Ghanaians, they're so on the poverty line here. It's like, it becomes a situation where it's like, listen, I've got to do what I've got to do because I have to feed my family. I have to pay this hospital bill. Like, if I don't pay this, I'm going to die. Like, so it becomes that kind of situation. So even if you had someone working for you for 4 years and everything was good, their heart is actually genuine. There could be a situation that arises where perhaps they don't have a way to ask you for the money, or maybe they know you don't have it to give, but you have it. Did you hear what I said? You don't have it to give, but you somehow have it. They will take it because it's life or death for them, because poverty line is so close to them that sometimes they have to do what they have to do. So in situations like that, just don't let your guard down too much. That's all I'm saying. And for those that have lived in Ghana and have had certain experiences, they will understand what I'm saying. So don't take this as me being harsh or being judgmental or any of that. I'm literally just giving you warning for you to take heed. And I'm not saying everybody that comes into your life is going to do that to you. I'm just saying be aware that it's possible that it can happen. And this happens with family members too. If you're a Ghanaian and you have come to Ghana, you've moved to Ghana, you'll be surprised that your own family members can do it to you. I'm sure you've heard the stories where your own family members, because, when it comes to our family members, we let our guards down for them because, it's family, I've known them for years. They're the ones that can do you first before even a stranger. They will do you first. The amount of times I've heard of things happening within families where, you've heard it yourself. You sent money back home for your first cousin to build a house for you. They say they're building the house. They've taken some pictures. They've sent you some pictures, and you get there, and the house is like a 2x4 house. Literally, the size of the house is 2x4. Meanwhile, you thought that the house was on an acre. It's massive. The house is 100 by 100. You get there and it's not. It's 30 by 30. That's what they've actually built for you because they have kept some of the money. You have to remember, when you send money back to people who have never handled this money before, it's money they have never seen, and you have literally sent it to them. It's not even that their intention was to rip you off. It's just that they don't know how to manage this money. Like, let's be honest, you give me $1 billion. I've never had $1 billion or anything close to it before. So there may be some mismanagement that will happen. And not because I want to do that, it's because I don't know how to handle that level of money. And that's just how it is. I'm using myself as an example so you people can't say that, you're always picking on Ghanaians or whatever. So I'm going to use myself. You give me $1 billion. I may never have had $1 billion. So I don't know how to handle it. I'm going to maybe try and take some. I'm going to buy KFC every single day this week because, the person may not notice that I've taken money for KFC. But it's still a mismanagement of money. Whether I've skimmed a little bit off the top or not, it's still a mismanagement of money because the person has sent you money for this specific purpose. And so it's going to happen. So that's what I'm saying. Like, anybody can be a scammer anywhere. Put in the right situation. Most of us will save ourselves above being an honorable person in society if it comes down to that. Because I can tell you, if you're about to die today and you're going to die, but you need whatever dollars you need this money to save your life today, you're going to do what you're going to do to make sure that you stay alive. That's just the fact of it. So let's not pretend that we are all sitting here and we are all holy, because the right situation will present certain things within us that we didn't even know was there. Let's just say. Okay, this last point that I want to make is, if you want to get ripped off, become emotionally involved in things too quickly. Now, this could be in love. I've come to Ghana and I've fallen in love. And this person has promised me that let's build a life together. I don't have the funds to do my part right now, but I have the connects. I have I have certain things to bring to the table, but I don't have funds. But it's okay. Because we're building the life together, let's use our resources together. So I'll use my contacts and you bring your finance, and let's do this. Let's start this business. Let's build this house. Let's do these amazing things together. And you become so emotionally involved that you lose track of your senses. And before you know it, you've invested. And then the person has said to you, the money has run out because materials have gone up, or this has happened, or that has happened, or I didn't realize that we'd have to pay for this. Before you know it, you've been sucked dry. You are drier than the Sahara Desert. Like, you've lost your money because you have become emotionally involved in something. And it doesn't always even happen when it comes to love. That is an aspect of it where people do get into romances where even when you look at the two people, you can't see how does this align? Like, you don't see it. We've all seen 90 Day Fiance and things like we've seen it. We know. Don't pretend you don't know. You know what I'm talking about. So emotionally involved like that, or even sometimes you can become. This is a hard one for me to say, but I have to say it. You become emotionally involved in someone's story. Now, I'm not saying that people don't go through hardships. Please, I'm not saying people don't go through hardships, but sometimes when you sit back and you look, you're like, hardship after hardship after, you do your best, you want to help this person, so you help. Then tomorrow there's another one, another help. Then the day after there's another help. It's like there's forever this never-ending story of help that this person needs. Sometimes, not all the time, please, not all the time, but sometimes they know that as for this person, I can take it, and they will take it. You have become so emotionally involved that you are now unable to see the situation for where it is. And some people, and I'm not just talking Ghanaians, some people have a way of being able to tell you sob stories. And I'm going to say it's not just Ghanaians, because there have been instances where there have been people who you would associate with the diaspora spinning stories that are just not true. I'm going to give you this one story where there's this, I think he was even a white guy, and he hangs around Accra Mall, around that vicinity somewhere. And he uses this story of he's in Ghana, his child is sick, and the child needs insulin. And he's like, I don't know what to do. My cards have stopped working. I can't get any cash. People back home have tried to send me money, but the money's not coming fast enough. Like, I'm in a dire situation. Like, I need to get this insulin for my child. And so, because the person is white, because the person seems like they wouldn't lie, people have been giving them money. The person has got money. Tomorrow, you see the same person there again. And then the next week, the person is back again. And this is a real life story. There is actually someone out there doing that. And that's just one instance. But there have been many instances where this person has been going around different areas, the same story. And it happens. It happens. It may have started off as a true story, and maybe they made bank that day. And so let me tell the same story again, because this is easier than finding a job. And so it happens. So I'm saying that not everything that I've said today applies to just Ghanaians. It applies to desperate people that come to Ghana that are trying to survive. Ghana is very much a hustle mentality, where if you don't have a hustle, it's going to be hard for you. People come here and want to live a particular lifestyle, and they want to live a lifestyle that they had hoped to live back there. And they come here and they try to carve out that lifestyle for them. And it's difficult. They can't. And so because of that, they resort to finding other ways to live that lifestyle, because they feel like that's what they deserve. So rather than coming here and starting at a level that is comfortable, that they can maintain and work their way up, they try to start higher than what they can actually maintain. And rather than wanting to slip down, they begin to do dubious things in order to maintain the level that people have seen them with. And it's because in Ghana, you have a certain social standing when it comes to how people treat you. You know, they treat you because they treat you a certain way because they feel like you have it. When you have money, it demands respect here in some ways. It's the truth. It demands a certain level of respect from people. So it's like people want to be nice to you. People will bend over backwards for you because you have money, and perhaps maybe they'll have access to that money somehow. At some point, you give them something. You will help them come up from wherever they are. And so there is a certain social standing that comes when you come here, especially for us diasporans. When we come here, people assume we have money. And so they give us a certain level of respect just because of that. You haven't even done anything yet. They just give you a certain level of respect. And so people want to maintain that respect. They don't want people to think that I'm living here at this level because now I'm going to lose that respect. I don't want people to look at me like that. So they try to maintain that they live here. And it's not true. And so it just creates a whole lot of problems for everybody involved. So yeah, that's pretty much it. I hope you understand the things I've said in the video. It is not to attack or to make people look bad or a certain community look bad, whether it's the diaspora, it's Ghanaians, whatever. It's not. I'm just spitting facts. I'm just telling you as it is here. I've been here a long time, and so I'm just sharing with you what I've seen so that you don't have to go through some of the things that I have seen from other people and also that I have experienced personally myself. So that is it. If there are a few other things that you think I should have added to this list, let me know. And definitely let me know in the comment section how you've been ripped off. And how much you were ripped off. I've said it so many times and I'll say it one more time for those that didn't hear. When you come to Ghana, you're going to be ripped off. It's just how much you're going to be ripped off and how quickly you're going to realize that you're being ripped off. That is it. We have all been ripped off. Anybody that's been here for any length of time has been ripped off. I guarantee you. I can almost put 100% stamp on it that you have been ripped off. You may not even realize that you've been ripped off yet, but you have been. And that's just a fact. So, anyway, I'm going to leave the video right there. So, if you haven't already subscribed to this channel, do me a favor, hit the subscribe button and the notification bell. Don't forget to also like, comment, and share this video for me. Until next time, I am out. Natifafa.